Hello everyone, welcome back to this lesson. On our lesson today, we're going to talk about conditional sentences. The last conditional sentence, which is the third conditional. We have seen the three conditionals in the past, in our three videos in the past. The first one was zero conditional, the second one was conditional type 1 and conditional type 2, and this is our fourth on this episode. So I hope you found the first three videos under this topic useful and helpful in your studies and in your communication skills. Knowing those things would help us to explain what we mean very well for others, hopefully. So I am sure you used them properly in different contexts in our encounters in daily life, right? So today we're going to talk about the third conditional. Okay, the third conditional has its own use, its own form, and its examples, or how we construct sentences using the third conditional. We'll see them one by one, but just to give review of the previous conditions, conditional type 0, we said it is used to talk about factors or general truths and to create kind of relationship. And the type 1 conditional is used to talk about possible condition, where we use both present simple tenses in the zero conditional, and in type 1 conditional we use if plus present simple, and in the main clause we use will future or simple future, will plus verb 1. And in conditional type 2, in our previous session, we said that conditional type 2 is used to talk about hypothetical or imaginary situation having probable result. All right, we're all talking about unreal situation in that condition, and the structure of conditional type 2 was if plus past simple in the if clause, and in the main clause we used would, could, or might plus verb 1. So in the third conditional, first we talk about the use, and then we'll see how to form or construct conditional type 3 sentences or structures, and then we'll see some examples before we move on to the exercise part as usual. So the third conditional, it's used to imagine a different past. In this case, we are imagining a different past. Okay, this condition is a completely past situation which is impossible to change. Okay, in this case there's nothing to change, everything is in the past. Okay, and the result had happened also in the past, but we are not happy, we would love to see a different past. Okay, and it is a different result. So a third conditional is used to imagine a different past, and we imagine a change also. We imagine a change in the past situation and the different results of that change. Okay, the different result of that change. So we wish that nothing or that thing hadn't happened in the past, but it already happened. Okay, there's nothing we can change now about that. So that's why we call it an impossible condition. An impossible condition. It refers to an impossible condition. Okay, it refers to an impossible condition in the past and its probable result. Both the situation and the result are in the past in this case, right? So we are referring to these situations. Okay, that situation is truly hypothetical and unreal in the third conditional. So the third conditional, okay, in the third conditional we use to talk about such kind of situations. Okay, unreal or hypothetical situations, all in the past, and we want to see a different result as a result of a different change or situation in the past, which is impossible, right? Now, so the form is, we use if in the if clause, if plus past perfect. So we know that past perfect is formed by had plus verb 3, right? Had plus verb 3, and the main clause is would have plus past participle or verb 3 form of a verb, or we can say would plus present perfect structure. Okay, present perfect structure. So in this one it is if plus past perfect, in this one would plus present perfect, or would, could, and others might as well can be used to refer to that. So some examples, to see some examples under this condition: if it had rained, okay, if it had rained, you would have gotten wet, okay, would have gotten wet. This is past perfect, and this is would plus present perfect, or would have plus past participle form of the verb. Then the next example: if I hadn't been ill, if I hadn't been ill, okay, let's think about this person. He had been ill and he missed something, right? So he wanted to, regret, or he wanted to tell us his regret. So he's saying that if I hadn't been ill, I would have gone to the party. So this person missed the party. Why? Because he was ill or he was sick, right? So he is telling us, if I hadn't been ill, I would have gone to the party, right? So that is another one. The third is we wouldn't have gone lost. Wouldn't have gone lost, okay? We wouldn't have gone lost if my phone hadn't run out of battery, okay? The issue is, the case is, they were lost because her phone or his phone was out of battery. It was all in the past, okay? So they were lost because the phone didn't have battery. So when we want to express that situation using conditional sentence, you can say, we wouldn't have gone lost if my phone hadn't run out of battery, or if my phone hadn't run out of battery, we wouldn't have gone lost. And the last one, if she had studied harder, if she had studied harder, she would have passed the exam. Did she pass the exam? No. Why? Because she didn't study hard. So she didn't pass the exam, she didn't study harder. Okay? So if she had studied harder, she would have passed the exam. So this is what we mean by the third conditional in general. So the third conditional, as you can see, is used, okay? Even, there are certain situations where we wanted to do better, to, perform well in the past, because we are not happy now by the result, okay, as a result of the action that we had in the past. So when we want to talk about our past regrets, okay, past regrets, we use the third conditional, okay? You can say, if I had studied harder, I would have become a doctor, okay? If I had studied harder. For that person, okay, he didn't study hard when he was at school or at college, so he couldn't be a doctor, okay? If I had finished my medicine or my medical class at college, I would have become a doctor just like my friends. This guy or this person dropped out of college, medical studies college, and as a result, he is an ordinary person now. He's not a doctor, right? So such kind of situations where we want to express our regrets, we use the third conditional. So the third conditional generally is used to talk about these situations. Okay, when we want to imagine a different past, okay, and we imagine a change in the past situation and a different result. That is an already gone past situation, but we wanted to see a different result as a result of the different situation. So that is all about it, and its structure is if plus past perfect, and in the main clause we use would plus have plus verb 3, or would have plus past participle. So now let's move on to the situation here. Okay, the situation here and the given questions. So there are 6 questions here. They are given in a normal sentence, but I want you to put them in conditional type 3 structure. Hannah didn't go to school yesterday because she was ill. Okay, because she was ill. So I want you to rewrite them with using if clause. Okay, if Hannah. Okay, if Hannah. Okay, and the second one is Solomon went to the park because he finished his homework on time. Okay, he finished his homework on time. So if Solomon, okay, if Solomon, what? The third one, I couldn't get into the office because I forgot my key at home. Okay, if I, okay, if I, so I want you to finish that. I'm telling you the situations here. The fourth one, Jack drove his car carelessly. He crashed into a tree. Okay, Jack drove his car carelessly. Okay, then he crashed into a tree. So if Jack. The fifth one, Sarah failed her exam. Sarah failed her exam because she didn't study harder. Okay, if Sarah. Okay, and the last one, I couldn't buy a car because I didn't save money. Okay, if I. Okay, let me give you 2 minutes, and then we will do them together. Okay, after 2 minutes I'll be back. All right, now we are back here. So let's do it together. If, okay, Hannah didn't go to school yesterday because she was ill, right? So if Hannah hadn't been, because what we need in the if clause is, don't forget it is past perfect. So if Hannah hadn't been ill, okay, then she, we need would have plus past participle. So she would, or we can say she could as well. She could have, or she would have. So what is the action? Going to school. So go is the main verb here. So she could have gone to school. To school yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So the answer is, if Hannah hadn't been ill, she could have gone to school yesterday. If Hannah, okay, if Hannah hadn't been ill, okay, she could have gone to school yesterday. The second one, Solomon went to the park because he finished his homework. If Solomon if Solomon hadn't finished his homework, okay, he the action is going to the park, right? Going to the park. So he wouldn't have gone to the park. He wouldn't have gone to the park. If Solomon hadn't finished his homework, he wouldn't have gone to the park. The reason why he went to the park was he had finished his homework. Okay, and I couldn't get into the office because I forgot my key at home. I couldn't get into my office because I forgot my key at home, right? So if I hadn't, so forget is the main verb here. If I hadn't forgotten my key, okay, my keys at home, okay, I would have, okay, get into the office, okay, I would have got into the office, okay, I would have got into the office. So this is what we need to do, okay, when we are given a different circumstance or situation, we need to change them into the appropriate form. Jack drove his car carelessly. He crashed into a car. If Jack hadn't, the verb is drive, so driven, the past participle, because we need past perfect in the if clause. If Jack hadn't driven his car carelessly, okay, his car carelessly, okay, carelessly, he wouldn't have crashed, okay, he wouldn't have crashed into a tree. He wouldn't have crashed into a tree. And the other one, Sarah failed her exam because she didn't study harder. Okay, if Sarah fail or study, so the condition is what we need to do before the test, right? If Sarah had studied harder, okay, she, okay, could have failed, could have passed, we can say, could have passed, okay, her exam. Okay, if Sarah had studied harder, she could have passed her exam. The last one, I couldn't buy a car because I didn't save money. I didn't buy, or I couldn't buy a car because I didn't save money. So if I in the past had saved money, okay, if I had saved enough money, I could have, the action is buy, so I could have bought, okay, a car. I could have bought a car. So these are very good examples to, to challenge our understanding of conditional sentences. When you are given something different and converting them into conditional sentences, that is the maximum level of understanding conditional sentences. So I want you to use them. I want you to, practice them, rewrite other situations as well in conditional forms, and try to revise the rules of conditional sentences, not only conditional type 3, but the previous ones, conditional type 1, 0, 1, 2, and this one as well. So we can use them in our real life situations if we understand them very well. Thank you for attending this session or for following me on YouTube. Those of you who didn't subscribe already, please subscribe to this channel. Okay, and if you have confusion on conditional sentences, please refer to the previous videos as well, which I have done on all the conditional sentences. So thank you so much. I'll see you on my next video. Stay tuned. Have a good day.